Walt Disney is remembered as a symbol of magic. But before the magic, there was pain. Before the empire, there was failure. And before the legend, there was a man the world had already decided was not good enough. Walt Disney was born in 1901. His childhood was not filled with joy or comfort. Money was always tight, and his father was strict, demanding, and unforgiving. As a child, Walt woke up before sunrise to deliver newspapers, working long hours before school even began. Life felt heavy early on. When reality became too harsh, Walt escaped into one thing: drawing. Not for money, not for praise, but because imagination was the only place where life felt safe. Drawing wasn't a dream. It was survival. In his early 20s, Walt believed his life was finally changing. He landed a job at a newspaper. A real job. Stability. Security. Then it ended without warning. Walt Disney was fired. The reason would later sound unbelievable. He was told he lacked imagination and had no creative ideas. Those words should have destroyed him. For most people, they would have. But rejection didn't convince Walt he was talentless. It convinced him he didn't belong in small places. Walt moved to Kansas City and started his own animation studio called Laugh-O-Gram. This wasn't a side project. This was everything. He poured in his savings, worked day and night, paid his employees before himself. He believed success was just around the corner. But belief doesn't stop bills. Clients didn't pay. Debt grew. Rent went unpaid. Then reality hit. Laugh-O-Gram collapsed. Walt Disney was bankrupt. He had no money for food, no money for rent. He slept in his office and survived on canned beans. This wasn't failure. This was rock bottom. Most people quit when the dream starts hurting. Walt didn't even have success in sight. With nothing left, Walt sold his camera, packed one suitcase, and bought a one-way train ticket to Hollywood. No backup plan, no safety net, no guarantee he would survive. Hollywood rejected him. Again and again. Eventually, Walt created a character called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. For the first time, success felt close enough to touch. Then it was stolen. A distributor took the rights to Oswald. Walt lost the character, lost his team, lost control. Everything he built was gone, again. On the train ride back from that meeting, Walt was broken, angry, empty. That's when he started drawing. A small mouse, big round ears, simple lines. That mouse would become Mickey Mouse. Mickey wasn't created from confidence. He was created from betrayal. This time, Walt made a decision that changed everything. He owned the character. No one could take it away. But even Mickey was rejected. Studios said sound animation wouldn't work. They said cartoons were childish and disposable. They said audiences wouldn't care. Walt ignored them. In 1928, Steamboat Willie was released, one of the first cartoons with synchronized sound. The audience loved it. Mickey Mouse became a sensation. But Walt didn't celebrate. Instead of chasing quick money, he reinvested everything. He chose quality over comfort, vision over safety. Then Walt made the most dangerous decision of his life. He decided to create the first full-length animated movie. People mocked him. They called it Disney's Folly. They said no one would sit through a 90-minute cartoon. Walt bet everything on it. His company, his reputation, his future. That movie was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. When it premiered, the audience cried. They laughed. They stood and applauded. Snow White was a massive success. Walt Disney had finally won. But the real lesson isn't the success. The real lesson is this. Walt Disney was fired. He was bankrupt. He was rejected, mocked, and betrayed. Yet he refused to stop. If Walt Disney had listened to the people who doubted him, there would be no Mickey Mouse, no Disneyland, no magic. Sometimes the world tells you to quit, right before everything changes. And sometimes, failure isn't the end of the story. Sometimes, it's the beginning of a legacy.